The Time is a thought-provoking card concerned with our relationship with time, and by extension, our relationship with life and death. The kanji character on the top of the card is Toki, meaning moment or hour in Japanese. And this card bears some relation to a later card, that of the Return, both in their characteristics and in their themes. The shrouded figure wears a hood, with an interesting pattern on its side, resembling what looks like wavy clock hands, one pointing up and one pointing down. As well as the hermetic maxim of as above, so below, the joining of microcosm, man, with the macrocosm, the universe, this wavy pattern also speaks to us about the nature of what we call time. Newton's view on time was absolute. Time was separate from space and was experienced in the same way by all. It flowed forever onwards like an arrow. And this was until later ideas of relative time, where time and space were, like the aforementioned microcosm and macrocosm, not separate, but instead intricately joined. Within this suggestion, they are also not flat, but instead are warped by the presence of matter or energy. This type of thought is interesting, not only in terms of cosmology, but also in terms of our own lives, where we too can experience a relative time. For instance, an exciting day out will appear to flow much faster than a boring day at work. In metaphysics, some suggest that all perceptions of time are illusory, and that there exists only an eternal now, a moment of which all other moments both come from and flow out of, and yet the only thing that can truly exist is the present moment, as referenced in the works of Eckhart Tolle and others. The figure on the time card is mournful and gaunt, a far cry from the cute images we have grown used to with the Clow cards. It's a similar image to a personification of time, such as Kronos or Father Time, a symbol of the consuming and often frightening nature of age, time and death. In these paintings, this one being Time clipping Cupid's wings, painted in 1694, the artists depict allegorical concepts of time's effect on love, or the waxing of emotion and feeling, the intensity of infatuation growing quickly old and dying away. Father Time is also shown in many illustrations with an hourglass, much in the same way as the figure on the time card peers wistfully at the passing sands in the hourglass of which he holds onto. In its most simple interpretation, the sands of time represent our mortality and the need to seize the day and to live every moment, for the grains of sand will never return. It also suggests that the figure holding the hourglass can control the flow and direction of time, as by tilting the glass, one could slow down or reverse the flow of the sand, once more representing our complicated understanding of the nature of time and our place within it. In many ways, these images have entered the public consciousness by way of memento mori, remember you are mortal. The Elgin Watch Company used an image of Father Time for their logo, the hourglass replaced here with a pocket watch. And through the Victorian period, many epitaphs would drive home the message of mortality and death, with poetry and images which fell out of favour in the 20th century, but can still be found on crumbling gravestones in old cemeteries, themselves a poignant reminder that all things in time are forgotten. The figure on the time card is shrouded, much like the shadow before it, and once more similar to a Grim Reaper type character, yet also again a symbol of the impenetrable shroud of nature's secrets, a veil through which we cannot see, no matter how much we wish to know how much sand remains in the hourglass. To visit historic places is to sense that time somehow stands still, and that the shadows of the past may lay hidden just out of the realm of our understanding. And yet nature has shrouded these things and will never reveal them to us. And such is our relationship with time, and the birth and death of nations, planets, ideologies, even entire galaxies. To draw this card is to ask the observer to look at their own relationship with time. It could suggest a need to slow down and pause, or to go back in our own time and regain perspective of a situation in the present. It is a card which cannot be easily interpreted on its own, and the surrounding cards would further tell whether the hourglass is flowing against our intentions, or whether time may be lining up things in a way of which, eventually, will be rewarding to us.